ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रयेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरि ओम तत्सत्। Can somebody share 2.19? Yeah, thank you. Chapter 2, verse number 19. Yayenam veti hantaram यश्चैनं मन्यते हतं उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते। य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतं उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते। य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतं उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते। Word to word translation. Yeah, anyone who, enam this, vetti knows, hantaram the killer, yeah, anyone who, cha also, enam this, manyate thinks, hatam killed, ubau both, tau they, na never, vijanitah are in knowledge, na never, I am this, anti kills, na nor, anyate is killed. Translation by Jivan Giri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. Please repeat. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. Purport. When an embodied living entity is hurt by fatal weapons, it is to be known that the living entity within the body is not killed. The spirit soul is so small that it is impossible to kill him by any material weapon, as will be evident from subsequent verses. Nor is the living entity killable because of his spiritual constitution. What is killed or is supposed to be killed is the body only. This, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body. The Vedic injunction is na himsyat sarva abhutani, never commit violence to anyone. Nor does understanding that the living entity is not killed encourage animal slaughter. Killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of the state as well as by the law of the Lord. Arjuna, however, is being engaged in killing for the principle of religion and not whimsically. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Igrim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Denatarinam Paramanandamadamam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Vaishnavam ki jai. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Tadati Swapadantikam. Prabhu Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktam ki jai. Thank you very much for joining. So here, this 2.19. So we are in the chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized, where this chapter is entitled, consists of many philosophies, many types of yoga. After Arjuna expressed his doubts and reasons for not doing his duty, or cannot perform his duty because of those reasons what he has explained, because of compassion, because of enjoyment, no enjoyment, and then destruction of dynasty, sinful activity, and what is that? Nobody will perform, community projects will stop, then so on, many other things. But the higher level, it's 4 or 5 reasons, and then ultimately in the second chapter beginning, so after Krishna instigated him, chastised him as a friend, then he gave a reason. Finally, he gave a final reason: inaction. He doesn't know now what to do, what not to do. Then he surrendered to spiritual master, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna in this case, and it has been explained that weakness of the heart. He understood, he detected the first problem for any growth, whether material or spiritual. First, we should understand what that problem is, detecting our situation, understanding where we are coming from, what is our position. So the same thing Arjuna is able to understand and detect. So that is the weakness of the heart, hridaya daurbalyam, karpanya dosha, and then that has been explained as because of the asat trishna, because of the envious nature and kutinati, criticizing, and then asat trishna, mainly the small things, trivial attachments, offenses, and asat trishna in this way, and then tattva vibhrama. These 4 categories of weaknesses of the heart, hridaya daurbalyam is one of them. So then after Arjuna surrendering to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, then Krishna immediately started giving the first and foremost important section of the knowledge, which is Sankhya Yoga or Jnana Yoga. So the 2.11 onwards till 40th is called Karma Yoga or Sankhya Yoga. Then the 40th onwards, or the 30th, till 30 verse is Sankhya Yoga, Jnana Yoga. 30th to almost 40, 30th to 40, for 39 or so is called Karma Yoga, where he is talking about the duty, and then further is going from 40 to 53, is talking about Nishkama Karma Yoga. Then 53 all the way till 72 is Samadhi, or transcendental consciousness, Sthita Prajna, so different names we can give. In this way, this chapter is titled. So in this specific section of this Sankhya Yoga or Jnana Yoga, basically Krishna wants to dissect or give the answers to the questions of compassion and enjoyment, destruction of dynasty. So he is giving that answers here, solutions here in these specific verses, and he wants to dissect Arjuna's problem into the bodily concept of life and the 3 layers in one way to look at it. Bodily concept of life and the mental speculations at the subtle level, mind, intelligence, false ego, and then finally we have to come to ultimately he wants to bring him to the conscious being as the spirit soul, transmigration of the soul, science of self-realization in relation with and act in relation with Supreme Lord Krishna. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Sambandha is in relation with Krishna, Abhideya is acting on that relationship, ultimately reaching the goal of a love of God. So that is what Gaura Prema Rasarnave Jabi Dube Sri Radha Madhav Antarange. So that's what the ultimate goal of life is, to one who engages, try to love Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna. Then when he goes deep and deep and deep, Rasarnave, enjoying that mellow of the rasa of serving Krishna and his devotees, then naturally he becomes the most confidential devotee or associate of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, Sri Radha Madhav, Sri Radha Damodar, Sri Radha Shyamsundar, whatever names we like to give. So that is the crux of the matter here. That is the highest realization. So in this case, the first one is we see that Sri Bhagavan Vach Asochananda Sochastam Prigna Vadancha Vase Gatasuncha Gatasunam Sochint Pandita. So his first fundamental dissecting the problem of that bodily concept of life. He's telling you are thinking, you are trying to be compassionate for this body. Person who is drowning, so he is trying to save him by pulling the coat, or a person trying to use the car to drive, use this body, but you are trying to decorate the body, trying to use everything possible for the external things, but actually the person who is living within, you are not concerned about it. The person the car is moving because the person is sitting inside to drive, then only it is moving. So if you try to concentrate more only on the body, external things, then that is the ignorance. You are acting, you are speaking like learned, but rather you have to supposed to apply. You are saying compassion, but your compassion is supposed to be applied on the soul, not on the body. And it also means for devotees, many times as devotees also, we may apply this apply this compassion on the bodily level. Rather, that should be extended to the compassion on the soul. So that's why we see that Prabhupada has established this temple, established the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to distribute Krishna Prasad in a 9 or 10 mile radius wherever our temples are, so that it's not just simply giving food. Otherwise you can clearly Shastra explains Yajnadana Tapakriya Natyabjam Yajnadana Tapa Pavanani Manishnaha. At any point nobody should give up Yajna Dana Tapa Kriya, which means sacrifices, charity, austerity. These must be performed in line with under the guidance of spiritual master, because otherwise we can end up engaging all these sacrifices and charity and austerity, all these in a mode of ignorance, mode of passion also, mode of goodness. We should be performing at least on the level of mode of goodness, not on the below levels. Then it is not going to lead us to the science of self-realization. We will still be situated in the bodily concept of life. We act in the lower modes, even in these areas. That's why the utmost importance is there to be guided always by Shastra and Sadhu and Guru, especially the spiritual master and advanced devotees. Otherwise, we can speculate whole life and without really getting the results of transformation in our heart. So the compassion should be applied on the soul. So as devotees, we should be looking at trying to distributing this knowledge and giving Krishna Prasad. Doesn't matter to each and everyone, wherever possible, at whatever time. And we see that example, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's example himself, during the 4 months of Ratha Yatra, or even regularly, every year, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even though he has given up his mother and wonderful wife, beautiful wife, and then he has taken sannyas, but he was very much compassionate to even his mother. Generally, as sannyasi, Purvashram mother, they say, and they are not, generally they doesn't even go or doesn't even be attached or doesn't do anything in general sannyasis. But here Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is establishing action. The activity must be done in relation with the soul and the super soul. This way, so he was sending, many times we see that Srivas Thakur, he told Srivas Thakur, your business is to engage in chanting, Hare Krishna Mahamantra congregation chanting, and please take this Jagannath Prasad and this Jagannath cloth and give it to Sachi Mata and tell her that. And then he explains that in the previous, she always so much worried about me, she is thinking of me all the time, and she is cooking various items, what I like, and then she is offering, and then when he goes and puts that plate in front of the Lord, and then because she has started crying that he is not there, and who's going to eat, and what's happening with my Gaura, then in that situation I immediately rushes there and eat the whatever she kept on the plate. Everything is completely empty, and then minute she sees that, then immediately then she is internally happy, but then at the same time she thinks, oh, who ate? Maybe animal might have eaten, or maybe Bal Gopal might have eaten. Again goes back and checks the dishes, or checks the vessels, then again washes, and then she is completely in confusion and dilemma. Then he again calls the servant Ishan, and then again starts cooking and offering again. In this way, so then Mahaprabhu is explaining to Srivas Thakur, go and explain, go and tell her that this is what happened in the previous Vijayadashmi, Dasara, we just celebrated last week. On Vijayadashmi day, what I have done, how I took all the offerings what she made for me. So I am always thinking, tell her please to forgive me. I have renounced her, even though I shouldn't have renounced. I am a madman. I renounced it. So please tell her to forgive. I am always thinking of her. So offering my obeisance in this way. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not only him, and we see in Jagadananda Pandit, we see Damodar Pandit multiple times, and throughout the years we see that somehow they are always constantly sending messages to Sachi Mata, how he is doing, and sending the Jagannath Prasad, and always arranging somebody to serve and take care of her. So this is the instruction we are seeing, Sri Chaitanya, especially that's why Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is giving wonderful instruction from beginning to end, so many instructions, and exhibiting directly, personally, how a devotee should behave, how a devotee should conduct himself. So in this way, we have to apply the consciousness always, constantly, on a day-to-day basis, not just simply thinking about ourselves, our sadhana, but now we should be thinking about, also be sensitive about our family members, extended family, our parents, whoever, whatever possible way, and always be cognizant that I am operating as a servant of my Guru, servant of Krishna. So let me do the needful, what I should do, constantly in that mode, in that mold, in that anxiety for Krishna, anxiety to distribute for Krishna. So this is the actual compassion we have to have. So that's what here, at a higher level, this has been talked about here. So Asauchananda Asauchastam, that's it 4 times, remember. Don't lament for this body. You can keep on lamenting. So that's why we see that even Hiranyakashipu is instructing his associates of Hiranyaksha. When Hiranyaksha was killed, he is telling, why are you lamenting so much? Soul doesn't die. So in so many ways he was going, and then he used the example of Yamaraj coming, and then 2 Kulinga birds. One hunter is waiting, and then he kills the female bird, and the male bird is watching, and then he was also lamenting. Then immediately hunter catches him also. In this way, both get died. We are thinking we are not dying, but rather we are also going to die at some point. So in this way, so he gives, Hiranyakashipu is also giving, and then we see later on also in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Chitraketu story also, Narada Muni is instructing. You grow the seeds, for the planting, you put the seeds. Sometimes some seeds grow up as a plant, sometimes it doesn't. So we shouldn't lament. Our job is to perform the duty with utmost sincerity and endeavor, and praying under the mercy of Krishna and Guru. Then whatever results come, then that is not our job. We shouldn't be attached to the results. So this is the first and foremost point in this case. And then later on Krishna is further, and then, so that means the compassion. You are talking about compassion on the body level, forget about that. That's not the main thing. You should go beyond that. And then further Krishna is telling, why is it so? Because you and all these kings you are talking about, oh, my sons, my fathers, my grandfathers, and so many relatives and so much attachment you are talking about. But they were there in the past, they are there now, they are going to be there in the future also. So you shouldn't be worried so much. Yeah, they are going to get new body. What is your worry? So they are going to get in the future also. So and anyway they are old, especially you are attached to Bhishma and Drona. So you shouldn't be worried. Jatunasham Naptam Name Janadika, not Charika Bhavishyama. So in this way, Krishna is further going on, explaining about this individuality of the living entity, the soul, and also individuality of the super soul. It never becomes one, no amalgamation, no becoming one. That is not the theory given on that is not the essence we get from the Shastras, Vedic knowledge. So it is clearly laid out, Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam, Eko Bahunam Vidadati Kamam. Krishna is saying, and nobody most of the people cannot understand, especially the Supreme Lord. Vedaham samrutani vartamani anicharjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. Big Pandit itself, they cannot understand me. It is not easy to understand. So that's why it takes time. It requires a lot of intensity and attention, paying attention to the details of Srila Prabhupada's purports. And in this way, further Krishna is going, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantar prapti dera tastra namuhyati. So one who is learned, so he is not worried. So because you are acting, you are first of all in the unnatural condition, you are keep on changing different apartments. When you are situated in this temporary body, in this temporary apartment, who is the proprietor? Are you the proprietor? So why are you worried so much? You are sitting in this temporary body and then you are changing from one apartment, better apartment, depending on your qualification. You are getting this body, human body and different species of birth. You are getting at least human birth you got. So it's very rare to get. And once you receive, then we should be very careful and not just simply beautifying the body, but rather we should go to the increasing or transforming our actual soul, our desires. That is the main crux of this verse. This from 19th verse and all this section, this Sankhya Yoga, mainly it is telling about the aligning the desires. Who is the doer? Doer is not the soul nor the body. That is the main point. We'll come to that pretty soon. So Krishna is explained, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. As you are changing boyhood to youthhood to old age. So this is going on. So you shouldn't be worried. And we are changing constantly. We are coming from India to America. So many different places. We are trying to change different jobs. We are trying to promote. We are trying to get change. Always we are constantly trying to get better in a material necessities. We are trying to be in unnatural condition. We are trying to improve the condition of in the unnatural thing. Rather, if you spend that time equally or more on the what is permanent, then that will give the ultimate happiness. That's what is coming to. Krishna is coming to here. Kaumara yavanam jara tata dehantam dera. If you want to be sober, if you want to become liberated, then you better understand what is your natural position. Jivera Swarupoy Nitya Krishnadas. Aham bija pradhaka. Mama Ivamso Jivaloke Jiva Bhutadam. Sarvayonishu Kaunte Sambhavantimu. So many places again and again Krishna stresses this point. So that's what we have to come to that understanding. That and then further Krishna is telling the important instruction of matras prasastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha agama payana nityastam titakshobhar. You must tolerate happiness, distress. Yes, you have to take bath in the morning, whether the hot or cold season or summer or winter season, and woman has to cook or men also can cook. So there is no differentiation in that way. Even if it is hot summer, people have to cook because they have to eat, they have to survive, they don't stop. Then why are you so much lamenting about this happiness? If I kill, whom I am going to enjoy with? No, rather your enjoyment is when you perform your duty, not giving up the duty. And we see that performing this kind of happiness, distress, and we'll come to that example from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the happiness, distress is there, but we should be very much patient and tolerant. That's when we get the enthusiasm, determination, and when we have patience. Otherwise, we will not be enthusiastic. That's why for liberation, this is the first qualification Brahma is telling in his 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 8. Tattenu kampam susamikṣamano bunjana evatma kratam vipagam. Bunjana evatma kratam means Krishna, I am suffering because of my own previous sinful activities in the past life, in this life. I am patiently waiting. This is your mercy. By your mercy only, it is big things become small. I am suffering only little instead of a bigger way. I am supposed to suffer because of my own sinful activity. So, in that way, the one who is thinking, whether it's Pandava, Prahlad Maharaj, we see again and again throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, in Srila Prabhupada's case also, externally seemingly suffering, but internally obviously pure devotees doesn't suffer. So, those who are patiently waiting, Tattena Kampam, Munjana Evatma Kratam Vipam, Hriddvaga Vapubir, with their body, mind, senses, Jiver Pade Sadhayava, Muktir Sadhayava, then automatically they will get liberation. They are the qualified ones who get for liberation. not anybody else. That means we must be patient and tolerant. And we see that means in our service, we must, especially in our devotion service, in our even at our home duties, job duty, wherever, there will be difficulties. No matter what, however expert we are, we have to go through that. So that will bound to happen. And we see that in devotion service also, and Mahaprabhu gives that example of Raghav Pandit. He is glorifying Raghav Pandit and is telling, Raghav Pandit, he has so many coconut plants, he is offering wonderful, best coconuts, but still he is trying to find out the best coconuts all the way distant and is paying so much extra and getting that in a pure state. So he is offering that. Not only that, he is getting the mangoes, the bananas, and so many wonderful things across so many different. He is always trying to improve his consciousness. And when he offers them to Krishna, then even sometimes Krishna completely takes out all the juice of the coconuts and then he leaves. Then he is seeing that very satisfied, Raghav Pandit. Then he takes out that pulp and then again offers separate plate and offer and then stay outside. Sometimes Krishna takes out the whole thing, pulp. Eats and empty, and sometimes he refills with a new pulp, and then he gets, in this way his enthusiasm gets increased and increased day by day. He is relishing this Gaura Prema Rasarnave. In this way we see that we have to be in that rasa and that mellow. But if you have to put endeavor, we have to have that tolerance, we have to put that extra effort. When the festival is coming, it's every day is a festival actually for a devotee who is really immersed in that. Every day is a festival. It is not. We are not going to wait for a Damodar month or Purushottam month or Janmashtami. Every day is a festival. Every day is a important day to be connected with Krishna, to see everything, this whole world in relation with Krishna. So that is the mood and that is the anxiety and intention he has. So with that he operates, then automatically we will cross over that, we will dissect that bodily concept of life when we operate on that, at that level of desire. So the desire is the main thing. We must have that desire. If Raghav Pandit didn't have that desire to offer, I have at home, I will offer what I have. Why should I endeavor? Why should I take so much austerity and so much, so many disturbances to go all the way here, find out where is, what is available, what are special items available. He doesn't need to, but he is spending the time trying to improve his service, trying to offer the best things for the Lord. So this is the mood, this is the consciousness, this should be our absorption. Then naturally we can transform ourselves, we can transform whoever is there in our family, in our community, whoever is surrounding us. At least they have some inclination, then automatically they get transformed. It's like a magnet. The transferring will happen. That's how Srila Prabhupada is able to transform so many souls. Because he has that intensity, he has that desire carrying the mercy of the Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada. So that is what the instruction of Matras Prasad is to carry out, endeavor more, perform especially this kind of austerity. What kind of austerity? Waking up early in the morning to chant, reading or hearing Bhagavatam. So like this is the austerity. Not so much austerity of I should do Nirjala or I should do so much. No, not so much. Just simple austerity is to waking up chanting for Krishna's pleasure, to relish it, to read or hear, to do some service. In this way, that should be or give it to others, serving other devotees, even others may not be devotees. By that natural they will be inclined to come to Krishna. So this is what this Matras Prasavasti Kauntaya. And then further it is mentioned, those who are having this happiness, they are tolerating, then Shastra is telling that for them liberation is guaranteed. Na asato bhava na vidyate sata. Sat and Asat is been explained later on. So that Sat and Asat, and Prabhupada is explaining, Sat is permanent, Asat is temporary. That Sat means this Sat Sangha, Sat Sangha Vaishnavachar, Asat Sangha, Stri Sangha, I forget what is that. Sat Sangha Vaishnavachar, Asat Sangha, I forgot. The Mahaprabhu is giving that instruction. Who is a Vaishnava? One who is associating always with the devotees and performing these 9 kinds of devotion. Prabhupada is explaining that, expanding on that. Sat means it is engaging and associating with devotees and engaging in these 9 types of devotion. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vishnu. Directly. There is also Bhagavati Abda. Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhagavati Abda. That means directly. That means first you submit to Krishna, then you do activity. Not that I will perform, I will do nice business or do everything and then the result, then I will offer. No, that is indirect. The direct means first you submit. First you, before starting any activity, you submit. You are going to do this and you seek the mercy of Lord and Guru and devotee. Then you perform act. That is direct. Anything you do indirect, that means you have desires for something else. We are not really looking to please Krishna. So that means that is indirect way of doing things. That means it is a karma mishra bhakti, jnana mishra bhakti, yoga mishra bhakti. But that is not the ultimate goal. That we have to try to come to the submission to Krishna more and more. So that is what we are trying to learn here. So in this way, Krishna is coming to this verse number 19, where Krishna is telling, soul cannot be killed, because soul anyway is very small. Kesagra sadabhaga satada kalpitasya. So 1/10,000 tip of the hair. Tip of the hair itself is small. And that 1/10,000, if you cut, how much small it is? You cannot see it, you cannot measure it, and it cannot be killed. And that's what here in this specific verse. That means who is doing the activity? Soul cannot be killed. Neither soul is the one who is killing. That's what Krishna is telling. That means who is doing the activity? Body cannot do, body is dead matter. And so above the body, what is there? Mind, intelligence, falsehood is there. That means thinking, feeling, willing is there. Then above that is the soul. These are the three layers. And if you look at more different way, more detail, the koshas. There is Annamaya kosha, which means animals, all those who doesn't have higher consonant. Then there is a Pranamaya kosha. Then there is a Manomaya kosha at a mind and intelligence level. Then they have a Vijnanamaya kosha at a higher level. But then finally we have to come to the Anandamaya kosha, that is the highest level. So different ways of looking at the same thing, different presentation. We see that from chapter 3 and 5. So what this verse is telling, that soul cannot be killed, neither soul is the one who is killing. Then who is killing? Who is performing that? The action is being performed because of the desire first. Because the living entity has a desire, then the action is coming by three modes of material nature. This point, just only one verse Krishna is mentioned, but in chapter 3 we see that Prakrite Kriyamanani Gunai Karmani Sarvasa Ahankara Vimudatma Kartaham iti manyate. Who is doing? Three modes of material nature because of the desire, imperfect desire. Our material desire we have separate from the Lord, then Supreme Lord is sanctioning, because He cannot force. Free will, the living entity has a free will and choice. He is using the choice to make his own plans. Then Krishna is sanctioning to the degree as the bank balance of that karma, pious credits. Then to the degree Krishna is allowing. And then the three modes of material nature, the passion, ignorance, goodness, then that is what is making us that activity to be done under the divine supervision of the super soul. But that doesn't mean that super soul is going to take that pious or impious credit. No, it cannot take that. Again, the same point is further explained in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Action and Krishna Consciousness, where it is clearly mentioned that soul is not the one who is doing. It is three modes of material nature. Even though for those who are fully unconscious, whether he is eating, he is sleeping, he is smelling, he is thinking, none of that is thinking he is the doer. He is completely aloof, one who is self-realized. So, let me see, what is the time? 7:44. I think I have spoken enough. I will stop here. So, I'd like to hear from others, your realizations, corrections, reflections, anything else. Prabhupada ki jai. Anurag Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad pranam. Can I ask a question, Prabhu?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mataji. Go ahead.
Yeah. My question is, you were mentioning in the class how we need to always operate as a servant of Guru and Krishna while even performing our daily activities at home. So could you please elaborate on how we can fix our consciousness that we are the servant of Guru and Krishna? So how can it go deeper in our consciousness?
Thank you for the question. It's an elaborate subject. So means it is actual following the Srila Prabhupada process, obviously, as I mentioned before, the nectar of instruction is giving the clear, guidelines what we should do, how to increase our devotion for Krishna. That means our hearing and chanting must be done very carefully. Our pronouncing of chanting, not multitasking, and also our hearing and reading regularly, that also must be done with rapt attention, and then that should go into the heart as a fire. When you put yajna, then it flares up. That means when it goes and touches the heart, that means we are applying. You have to note down, and then when you apply those principles, then only there can be transformation of the heart. If you are simply reading, that means it is not really touching the heart. So that's why it is mentioned in this Gaura Prem Rasarname, Jabi Dube. Dube means when you go deep within. If you are staying outside on the periphery, then by the sun it gets evaporated. But those who are living within the ocean deep, they are not getting evaporated. They are going deep within. Mahamruta Magna Chitta. Prahlad Maharaj. So in that means we have to do a deep study of Shastra. So that instruction, whatever is there, we note it down, and then we try to implement that in our sadhana process, whether it's serving Tulsi Maharani, serving the devotees, serving Srila Prabhupada, and the instruction. Again, the corrections may come, that also is there. The corrections may come sometimes directly, sometimes through classes, through devotees. So through various ways corrections may come in our life. It is not necessary that Guru is going to correct directly. So many times, that's why it is very important to read regularly and hear regularly. So then the corrections of in our life, what we can correct, where we are lacking, where we are doing incorrectly in our sadhana, so that then we can make that adjustments. Otherwise, it is very difficult to make that adjustment. As you can see from Chaitanya Charitamrita, so when we are sincerely seeking the mercy and sincerely seeking associating with devotees, so one time Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is asking Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please invites him to take his meal at his home, whole 30 days, then finally condenses it to 5 days. Then he comes and elaborately cooks so much, a huge feast, both husband and wife, both together cooks so much huge feast, and then he offers Krishna and then keeps the separate room, only one door is there, so that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can sit, nobody can disturb him. Then his son-in-law is there, Amoga, and then he is a little bit different case in this. So then obviously he tried his best to avoid him, tried his best not to allow him to come when Mahaprabhu is there, but still somehow or the other he came, and then seeing that because he offers so much food stuff, a huge pile of rice and vegetable, everything is not a, Mahaprabhu already told, like, I am sannyasi, I am not supposed to take, I am not supposed to come to your home, and I cannot take this. Then Sarvabhauma Prabhu tells, you are Jagannath, you are taking 56 times and 56 items so many times throughout the day. This is nothing. What I have offered is nothing. This is in front. You don't make these funny things. Please eat. Please, you can finish it off. But at the time Amoga comes and sees what's happening, then how Mahaprabhu is taking this much quantity, then immediately criticizes Mahaprabhu. And then immediately Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya takes a stick and runs after him, and then he both started crying and weeping, and even Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's wife also. Then he leaves from that place, and then after a day or so he gets cholera. So then he's about to die actually, Amoga, his son-in-law. But then because seeing that, then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, they were very much lamenting because Mahaprabhu, because this has happened. I am the one who is invited and this offense has happened, and they were so much lamenting. He caught hold of his lotus feet of Mahaprabhu and crying, and then Mahaprabhu said, no, you didn't do anything, don't worry. But then Mahaprabhu again, after hearing Mahaprabhu get to know this, what has happened to Amoga, he comes back to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and then he meets Amoga and then he cures him. He tells him, just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then he induces him. Then he starts chanting, then he goes, his disease goes away. instead of dying, he comes back. So then that's what it is mentioned is Bhaktya Vatsyata, where it is Damodar month is coming. That specific word is used also in that Damodar Leela pastime in that chapter. So Bhritya Vatsyata, how because he is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's son-in-law, by being the associate of him, even though he may not be fully in line with Sadhu and Shastra Guru, he has rather criticized the Lord, but Lord didn't take that an offense. But because he is the associate of Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Mahaprabhu allowed, Mahaprabhu actually taken it lightly, and then he gave his mercy, and by his mercy he came back to his life, he came back, and then he is able to chant, and he perfected his life. So in this way we see that by that desire, sincere desire, by associating with those, constantly hearing and constantly associating with those who have that developed that attachment, and always trying to serve the devotees, trying to serve Tulsi Maharani, trying to serve this Sat, those who are situated on that fully transcendental consciousness, then by that we'll be able to also get to that kind of consciousness, that purity, the desires has to be purified. So that is where the fundamental problem is there. This verse is telling, so desires must be purified. So he's telling Arjuna, you are trying to do your activity on the basis of bodily platform, you are giving all these reasons. Rather you should understand and come to the, you should do my duty, you should serve according to my desire. Align desires with me, Krishna's desire. He wants to kill all these unwanted people on this earth at one time. So that's why battlefield was arranged. In this way, so our desires must be aligned with, only when we hear and read Sravanam, that is Varanadasa, Smaranadasa, it is mentioned, one by one we will go into the, gradually increase our consciousness, and then we will come to that meditation, absorption, and then Bhava stage will come, but gradually. But it takes long time though. That's why it requires that aligning desires and intensity and enthusiasm. It's everyday basis. It's not, we shouldn't wait for any specific month or anything auspicious. Every day is auspicious day. So time is running out actually. So we can take many examples. Throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see that intensity of all Goswamis. You see Vasudeva Datta also is simply desiring, and then Mahaprabhu is also instructing to different devotees to do different things. He is not renouncing, he is not asking anybody to renounce. He is telling Sivananda Sena, you maintain. Vasudeva doesn't maintain, he works but he doesn't keep anything. He gives away everything, whatever he is earning, he doesn't keep anything. You better be careful with him and make sure you go into his family life and then make sure you help him, because otherwise he cannot maintain. He is a family member and he is trying to give away everything. Then he cannot, I cannot see him like that. So make sure, Sivananda, you are the neighbor, so maintain him and you maintain all others and bring all of them to here, Jagannath Puri every year during Chaturmasa period. Then execute these duties. In this way, various instruction is given to various associates. He is telling Mukunda, you perform the duty, you go as a doctor and take care of the duties of a doctor to whoever your what do you call those who are diseased, you give them the medicine and whatnot, you perform the duty, that is your work, and you bring whatever money is there, you engage. But your son, Raghunath Thakur, he doesn't have any duties. Let him be engaged in the service of the Lord. That is his duty. And you perform this duty. And then he tells Narahari, another third person who is also living close by, he tells, now your duty is to take care of the devotees. Okay. In this way, three different people is giving three different instructions. So that's why when he is giving instruction, when their desires are aligned, when they are rightly situated, that's when the Mahaprabhu is instructing. Mahaprabhu is not instructing each and every person. You see throughout the Chaitanya Charitamrita, first we must be situated in a right way. Then the instruction will come. Some form or the other, whether through devotees, through the Shastra, through the classes, somehow or the other, through the dreams. It can come in any different form. But we should be rightly situated for that to happen. That means we should execute. We should wait for that day to come. So that means we should operate in that way. We should be that excited and enthusiastic every day, no matter what difficulty is there. Have that patience and determination and execute that. then naturally Mahaprabhu will and Nityananda Prabhu will enlighten us. They will give the energy, they will give the strength, they will give the empowerment for us to move forward and increase our consciousness and our love for Krishna and others. So I hope it clarified. Mataji, any other questions?